So the only reason we're waiting for this is because I think... Well, actually, you know what? Let's watch through, because this is going to take another like 20 minutes. And we only have like maybe 30 minutes before we might have to leave. So let's just watch the next video. I would also love to watch it on 2x, but I feel like for the purpose of other people watching
I
this,
just updated to
that's
the
kinda
most
crazy.
recent version of the add-on, which is currently 1.5 and was released on September 7th, 2022. So in my scene, I'm starting with a candy bar. It's modeled closely to scale, as you'll see up here. And then I've deformed the cylinder, and it animates over top of the candy bar at kind of a medium slow speed. This will be our inflow object. And the domain I've created has been scaled to the distance that our inflow will travel. Because I know the end result, I want this fluid to kind of flow slowly, so I'm not too worried about overexpanding the domain. And I plan to use the bottom face of the domain as our ground plane. I will assign our objects, domain, inflow, and obstacle. And for now, we'll keep all the default settings and take a look at what we have. All right, there are many issues right now. Our inflow is stuttering, the sim is too fast overall, and we certainly don't want this watery caramel drizzle. So let's solve those. I'm going to reset the bake. Let's raise the resolution to 120 for more detail on our fluid. In our domain, I'm going to change the simulation method from flip to APIC. As the tooltip reads, I'm doing this because the scale of our simulation is very small, and this sim method is actually better for that scale.
High volume,
and should allow it to be more
swirly,
stable and smooth for
Interesting.
our caramel.
Okay.
Now we'll scroll down to speed. Let's change that to 0.5 so the sim runs slower. To solve the inflow jitter, we're going to play with two settings that work together. In the domain advanced settings, we're going to increase our minimum substeps. This, in relation to our inflow, will allow our fluid to be calculated more times between each frame.
Okay.
So let's change our inflow substeps to 4
Okay.
and the frame substeps to 2. I'm also going to lower our max substeps because I don't want any interactions to be that calculation intensive. All right, with all those changes, let's take a look. All right, our inflow is much smoother. Most of that jitteriness is gone. And then let's move to shaping the fluid. I'll reset again.
How do you do that?
And in our domain world settings, you can see 3 variables that are currently disabled. We have viscosity, surface tension, and sheeting effects.
Oh, this is why
Each
I
one of
wanted to
these
try
can
this.
drastically change the motion of the fluid particle.
Dude, because we don't have any of those sliders. We don't have viscosity, tension, or sheeting effects. God damn it. This is why I wanted to try
And the best way to describe their
flip fluids in Blender. Because that's just not a setting. Let's
effects
go.
is to show them. So first up, we have viscosity. In this comparison, you can see 4 examples. The first set is the default world settings with no viscosity, and then the others increase from 0.01 to 0.1 and then to 1. I've included both the top and side views for each setting so you can fully appreciate the
Can I
change
animate
in fluid
viscosity?
motion. The viscosity value correlates to how much a fluid will resist deformation. So at the value of 1, the fluid has a very little or slow deformation per frame, and appears to be like a Play-Doh or toothpaste consistency. Before we continue to the other variables, I want to let you know that these comparisons have been uploaded as a standalone video on our channel, so that you can reference them in the future. I know this is something that I find very useful, so please check those out after this video. Secondly, we have surface tension. This value correlates to the fluid's surface particles and their ability to stay connected to each other. As the flip fluid
How do I do the whole thing where it's like you can go
with
frame
this
by
value
frame
helps
and
form beads and drips. Surface tension. This value comes out after this video. Secondly,
dude, that's what I need. That's literally the setting that I need. The surface tension. Okay. Interesting. What do we do? So we have a little bit more time. We have about an hour and a half. More than I thought. How's our blender? How's our simulation going? Yeah, she's a bit slower. Sha. Shit, okay. I don't know why I'm waiting for this to be done, because I'm not going to use it because I have to increase the domain, right? So I can just rewrite. Well, let's just keep watching the video.
We have surface tension. This value correlates to the fluid's surface particles and their ability to stay connected to each other. As the Flip Fluid wiki suggests, this value helps form beads and drips. Here we have a value of 0, 0.05, 0.15, and 0.3. Now, these are lower values because this setting can change quickly. And lastly, we have sheeting effects. This is different than the other values because this allows the simulation to actually create new fluid particles where gaps are present. In the case of our comparison, the higher sheeting values fill in the holes that our splash action created. This effect has two main values: strength, which changes the rate at which gaps are filled, and thickness, which dictates how thick the filled gaps will be.
Interesting.
These are all very fun settings, so as always, play around and check them out on your own. All right, back at it. For the look we want to create, we're going to focus on the viscosity setting.
Okay, so he's detailed the settings and what they do. Do we follow along with this, or do we try to get the look that we want? I think for the purpose of fun, we just follow the video, is my guess. And then later we can, well, soon we can fuck around with it and try to get the look that we actually are trying to achieve. But might as well play around with the thing. Play around with the add-on and see what we can do with it and better understand it. So, say we do that. But again, I believe our blender is still baking in animation, so it's just so close to being done that I don't want to cancel it, you know? I can't take that back, it's not really close, is it? Yo! Alright, we're almost done. It helped a lot just by like focusing on the Blender and not fucking around with other programs. So it's almost done. We'll leave it. Hopefully we can see it, see what it looks like. I think we're gonna have to recache it anyways, just because the liquid is hitting that domain, like the edges of it, which it's just gonna look like it's in a cube. It'll bother me, so we'll end up recaching it and rendering it, but we won't be able to see it. But that's fine. I'll cache it. I could probably recache it tonight after stream, and then render it probably tomorrow while I can render it tomorrow while I'm at work, and then whip it together, and maybe for next time at least. When that will be, I don't know, but we can take a look at it. See, this is why we need to recache it. See right here, it's like a perfect sphere, and then it's like this flat part. It's because it's hitting this cube that it's in, which is the domain, and that's where the liquid stops. So it has these 4 little contact points, which is just annoying. But it's almost done, so I want to see what it looks like as is, and if it'll even play at 120 resolution, which I don't think it will, but another thing that I have to think about is he has a Twix bar. I don't have a Twix bar. We can just do it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay, it's done. Let's see what it looks like. So if I hit play, not bad. Okay, it crashes there. Makes sense. Does it come back up? Look at that! Fuck yeah! Yeah, I see it has those little... That's cool! It also is not fully in the camera view. Dude, that looks sweet. So if I hit pause here, we're gonna want to reorient the camera, which if we just had our globe on, we can center it like this. So like that. Turn our globe off. And if we hit render, let's see what this looks like. Dude, look at that. Cool. This thing's gonna look sweet. I don't know what, like, this looks good. The edge, the inside. What is this? Is that, oh, is that the whitewater particle? Probably. Let's let it load. While it does that, we can check our... No, that's not what it is. Because you can see your, like... That might just be our lighting. Or it's whitewater within it. But it looks weird. Like, as it gets more defined, you can see, like, this, which I imagine is just, it looks like the whitewater particles inside of it. So, we can get rid of that because it's not going to fuck up our bake. But then if we go to our shader, we don't want world, give me object, and then give me particles. See, particles is white. And then water. Oh, everything is white. It's the lighting that has color. Right. Look. It's all of you, right? You all have particles on. So, okay. Change plans. So what's happening is those particles are inside of the liquid. I don't think I care enough to fix that. Because it wasn't in the video to make sure, like if we go to this, yeah, you can see it. If you highlight particles, you can see this line. That's exactly what we were looking at. What do we do about that? We can turn down. What can we turn down? Oh, hello. Sorry, my bad. Somebody followed. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so what's happening is we have these like bubble, dust, foam, and spray, which is cool. Problem is they're inside of our liquid, so when we hit render, you'll see it as it fills out. Oh, or not. So overall it's looking cool, but you can see this line right here, and what that is these foam bubbly particles are inside of it, which, to be fair, this isn't a frame, it's an animation, so while the animation's playing it might look different. So instead of me trying to mess around with those settings because I don't fully understand them and know how to fix it, I can either A, leave it alone and not touch it, and render it out and see what it looks like, which I think I'll probably do, Or my first thought is I was going to change the color. They're just white. All the color comes from the lighting. So if I like, the reason I don't like that is because it's so dark. If I don't want it to be dark, I can add a emission, I think, to those white particles, which could look cool. It's gonna look super weird, but I'm actually kind of curious what that looks like, so let's just rip that. So I was gonna quickly check at a glance if I'm over the spray. These are my particles. Is there a way to make them not be inside of? So there's a scale, which we can turn this down to like 2, which is what he had. Oh, we're gonna have to recache it anyways. So actually, wait. Oh, you can just. Oh, that's cool. That doesn't affect the bake, which is nice. Yeah, they're already too dense. Okay, so if I do O2, right? Let's add motion blur. Let's try that. Point cloud. Okay, fine. Spray. Yeah, so at a glance, there's nothing I can do about that. So instead, I'm just going to go into the material of these guys. It's called particle, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of emission. Let's do like 0.2. And white, yeah, sure, let's try white. And if we render, what's this look like? Holy shit, okay. That is aggressive. We don't want that, actually. We don't want that at all. 0.001 and make it like blue. Render. So now this is just us fucking around with it because that part of the tutorial is over. Yeah, so it doesn't do anything. We still have that, like, this dark thing inside of it. So I don't think I'm going to mess with it too much. In fact, I think I might just take it off. And just leave it. Leave it to where it was. And we'll call that done. So, let me go back to timeline. Timeline. So yeah, you can see what it looks like. Which is cool. At a super high mesh density. And then right here, once it comes back down and starts collapsing on itself, that's when the frame rate dies. Goes from 10 to like 1 frame per second. Even less, I think. It's just trying to calculate too much shit, so. Which is fine. But like, what about this? What does that look like? Same thing? Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of cool and it's kind of, like, that's why I don't want to change it too much, because it's kind of intentional of having that white water. So let's just leave it. I mean, overall, this looks fun. It looks cool. We have color, we have depth. Yeah. So I'm gonna save it here. Oh, we have to recache it. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We have to rebake. Fuck. Reset. Yes. Reset. Oh, hell. Fuck, I might have broke it. Oh, we're good. Okay. Okay. And then just to be safe, let's get our stop reset. Let's just double check by turning our globe on and making sure, yeah, it's not touching anything. And it expands a little bit, so I'll just turn up the thing just to be safe. And now we're good. So now we just have to rebake it. And rebake. Oh wait, where's mine? Okay, so we just gotta we finished that, so we just have to rebake this, and then once it's baked, we can render it. Which we're definitely not gonna do right now, because rebaking it will take like 30 minutes, which we don't want to wait for again, and then rendering it will take even longer. So I'll recache it tonight, and then tomorrow, like while I'm at work, I'll set up the PC and turn on the GPU and have it render, and then when we come back, we see what this thing look like, which is cool, because this is the first time we actually followed like a tutorial, and we'll have something to show at the end, which will be fun. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. Yeah, and then we're gonna check out the next tutorial, which is playing with viscosity and fluid, like more the things that we were lacking. Like the whole reason we started this and doing flip fluid is to get to those settings of being able to change things like viscosity, surface tension. That's what I think I'm missing. So that'll be fun. But yeah, for this file, we're done. We'll close her out. And then for today's session, I think we'll end it here. Yeah.